Hey guys, how you doing? It's Andy Whiter from LinkedIn Leaders, the LinkedIn consultancy based in London with clients around the world. What I'd like to do today is just give you a talk about what's changing in our industry, what's changing in the recruitment industry. Now in this video I want to cover three things. The first thing I want to cover is this box here. This is covering what's going to be happening in the industry in the next 18 months from a digital online point of view and how it's going to impact the entirety of your business. The landscape in recruitment is changing, and this isn't just about LinkedIn, this isn't just about the processes you guys use to contact clients, contact candidates. This is the entire landscape around recruiting. The second box I want to cover are the strategies that we need to adopt in this industry to ensure that we're still going to be fighting and be in the leading position in 18 months' time. And the third box I want to cover is the engagement protocol. The big thing moving forward, as we know, the big challenge is a shrinking talent pool. So how do you position yourself as the authority in your market, as the authority in your sector? And the engagement strategies are absolutely key. And a topic I normally get told, we don't have the time, we don't have the processes, we don't have the technology. I want to take that away from you. I want to take away the grey area and give you some insights into what can be done to really take the engagement side and really get you positioned as the authority. So, first box, why 18 months? What's happening in the next 18 months which is going to define a change in the recruitment industry? Well, the window of maturity. The window of maturity. So what does that mean? In the next 18 months, we're going to be seeing a profound shift, a seismic shift in the online digital space. Now, if you think about the platforms you use in recruitment, let's take LinkedIn for example. LinkedIn, the platform itself in the UK, depends on which figures you read, the current figures are around 6 to 7 million users in the UK. Last year, LinkedIn stated that the saturation point for LinkedIn in the UK would be 12 million users. Now, the number of worldwide users using LinkedIn is 150 million, there or thereabouts, depending again which report you read. LinkedIn state that this year, they expect figures to go past 300 million within 12 months. 300 million. So that's a 100% increase. So if you take that same calculation and apply it to the UK, that 7 million will be reaching saturation point in the next 12 to 18 months. So how does that impact you? It impacts you because the platform of LinkedIn, the platforms we're using to position ourselves as authorities in recruitment to candidates, to clients, are now starting to mature. Reason why that's important I'll come to in the second phase. But the key thing is, the key positioning for your company, you need to be adopting these strategies now to really get yourself in a position so in 12 months, 18 months when these platforms mature, you are the authority. Your consultants are the go-to guys in their industry. The window of maturity, the second area it affects. In 2014 plus, one of the reports I recently read said they expect 90% of traffic online to be video based. Even if you take that figure down a notch, the majority of traffic online will be video based in 2014 to the extent of 90%. Now how does it impact you? In this last week I've done some brief analysis of industries in recruitment such as the IT recruitment space, the mining space, that's mining recruitment space, and what I've seen is there are very few companies who are actually creating a strategy around video. So how does that impact you as a recruitment company? How does it impact you as an HR director? If a candidate, if a client is searching for you online, invariably they'll be using Google, Yahoo being one of the search engines, or the likes of YouTube. There are very few out there implementing a video and Google based strategy. Now Google have recently integrated with YouTube. So all of the keywords which are used to drive forward your business, so by that I mean your website is probably on the first page, second page, third page of Google. The algorithms which define those keywords are being rewritten. The playing field is now level. Because of the integration into YouTube, because of the advent of Google+, Google's changing. So now is the time to implement a strategy whereby your recruitment company is now positioned as the authority. And this window of maturity is upon us. If you miss it now, in 18 months, those who get on it will be positioned as a leader in their niche. The second area, the second box, sector, authority, strategies. So what do I mean by sector authority strategies? As we know, the talent pool is shrinking. As we know, clients have a vast opportunity now to really select who they want to work with, who they want to give the placements to. It does come down to relationships, yes, but from a candidate perspective and from a client perspective, the authority in any sector is going to dominate moving forward. Let me give you an example. If you can imagine you had let's say we're focusing on the Java development area. So in IT, we're focusing on the area of Java and within that niche development. Now, imagine this for a second. Imagine you had a talent community on LinkedIn, for example. We've created a talent community on LinkedIn whereby we've now got within our community the Java developers in investment banking in the City of London. The exact figure I don't know, but for argument's sake, let's say it's 2,000. So we've got our 2,000 Java developers within a closed talent community, within a closed group, and within that group, we're giving great content each week. We're kicking off discussions each week. The person running that group will be your consultant. That consultant will be perceived as the authority in that community by the Java developers themselves. So what does that give you? It gives you a talent pipeline. Now, what does it also give you? Something that most people don't think about. It gives you a client channel. From a client perspective, if you can approach a client and you can state clearly you've got the 2,000 Java developers in investment banking in the City of London and they perceive you as your authority, it gives you a talent pool and it gives you a client channel. But these need to be implemented now because this window of maturity is upon us. In 18 months, LinkedIn will be a lot more mature than it is now. The tools we use in social media will be hitting maturity. Facebook's will be. Google will be. YouTube will be. So the key thing is implementing these sector authority strategies now. Now, the third box, because I know what you might be thinking, we don't have the time for this. We don't have the time. We're trying to make our figures each month. We don't have the time to implement these strategies. So, I think you're going to like this third box. Automated engagement sequences. Automated engagement sequences. Now, what does this mean? Let me ask you a question. Your best friend, your family, how often do you speak to them? If they're local, you may well see them on a daily basis, you may see them once a week, maybe once a month. But you can rest assured, you don't just phone your best friend when you need them. You have a dialogue, you have a communication, you give them value. The same applies with candidates. You need to be adding value to candidates. The same applies to clients, adding value to clients. Now, time doesn't exist for most recruiters I know, but automated engagement sequences will give you positioning from a candidate positioning. It will give you positioning from a client's point of view. So how do you do this? Well, we set up automated systems whereby, if you can imagine this for example, let's keep it in Java development. Let's say you've got your 2,000 Java developers in your community and you've got the 20 investment banks that at some point will be accessing this talent pool via you. Imagine this for a second. Imagine you've got a process in place whereby on a weekly basis a webinar is created. The webinar is held between your consultant or via a third party, and the webinar interviews an industry expert in Java development. You invite your 2,000 developers to the webinar, you invite the clients to the webinar. And you are holding the webinar with the world leader in Java development. He could be an author from Amazon. He could be a developer with Microsoft. But setting up these webinars, you do it in such a way that you automate the process, so whereby it runs 24 hours a day. But what it does, it gives you engagement, it gives you authority with both your candidates and your clients. And you can set these processes up in such a way that they run on autopilot. Yes, with some management, but what it does, it gives you client positioning, it gives you candidate positioning, it gives you brand authority, it gives you authority in the market. That's just one example I've used there of the webinar, but there are a number of different strategies which we can use. So just to recap, the window of maturity is upon us. In 18 months' time, the landscape will be completely different now. You look at Kodak, what's happened with Kodak? Gone from the world leader to applying for bankruptcy protection. Why? Because they didn't get on the digital age. Now, what we're not talking about here, we're not talking about fluffy strategies whereby you have to take months out to create them. I'm talking about hard-hitting strategies which are proven in $1 million launches in industries such as online marketing. These strategies work. And now, those who really pick up the ball will become the sector authority niche leaders. And they'll be doing this by automated processes. So just to recap, the event in March is to create an environment whereby you guys can see how you can position yourselves as a sector authority over the next 18 months, starting immediately, and how this can be done from an automated process. This won't all be theory. I'll be giving you hard-hitting strategies. Hard-hitting strategies you can take away and apply immediately. I'll also give the opportunity whereby we can do this work for you. But the key thing is, this next 18 months is going to see a seismic shift in recruitment. And for those who get on the digital era, they'll be safe. Those who don't, maybe Kodak comes along. But now is the time to start thinking outside the box, becoming the sector authority for both candidates, for clients, and applying automated sequences to do this. So hopefully that's been of use to you. Any questions, by all means, ping me an email, and I'll look forward to seeing you at the event. The Grand Connaught Rooms, as I said, it's probably going to be in March. There should be on the left-hand side, there should be the opportunity to sign up. Look forward to seeing you. Any questions, please contact me. Have a fantastic day.